So today we're going to talk about Snow White again and the recent controversy surrounding the live action adaptation that Disney was supposed to be having coming out next year. So I can tell you guys for a fact that it's a total mess. Press run for the live remake of Snow White was a disaster, as the lead actress Rachel Zegler was going around bashing the actual story, and this has pushed Disney to delay the release of the movie. So Disney's apparently delaying the release of this film until 2025 because they're afraid it will flop at the box office and ruin their chances of making any sequels or spin-offs. They're trying to avert the impending financial disaster at this point. A few weeks ago, the studio announced that they were going to push back the release date of the live-action remake of Snow White until March 2025, which is about a year after the scheduled original date, citing the ongoing SAG-AFTRA strikes as the driving force behind this decision. But I'm going to tell you guys that I don't think that that's the actual reason, and I'm going to show you why. I think it's because Rachel Zegler's press release was just horrible and there was negative feedback. Take a look at this picture right here of what they're doing now with the dwarves. It looks like they're gonna CGI them instead. But yeah, that doesn't sound convincing to me after all the drama and chaos that happened on social media after the whole Rachel Zegler press run. And you're probably wondering, like, why is this movie gaining so much attention? Well, first of all, they cast Rachel Zegler as Snow White, who's not even German or white. She is Colombian American, and she's basically been bashing the original story in every interview that she did. She says that the 1937 version, which was made by Walt Disney himself, was strange to her and that she didn't like it at all. I find that weird coming from somebody who's supposed to be playing a role like Snow White. She was also going around saying this movie will be nothing like the original. There'll be no prince to save her, no love story, and no happy ending. Instead, they're gonna focus on Snow White becoming a leader and fighting against the evil queen. And what about the prince? Well, he's just gonna be a creepy stalker who follows her around and tries to kiss her without consent. And if that wasn't bad enough, Zegler also joked that the actor who plays the prince, Andrew Burnham, might not even make it to the final cut of the movie. She said that scenes could get cut and that it's Hollywood, baby.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Talk about being disrespectful to your co-star and the fans.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
And look, I know I'm not the only one who thinks she's wrong. There are now people out there that find it sexist to have a female character that has imperfections in the movie, or also find it sexist not to have a single female character in a movie in a position of power, because they legitimately think that this will project women in a negative light. If we go based on the new woke ideology, casting a movie like this undermines the essence of gender equality. Rachel Zegler's comment about the prince stalking Snow White in the original movie actually makes me wonder if she even really watched the movie at all. Snow White never called for the prince to come and save her. He heard her sing and he fell in love. There are a lot of people on social media that have been calling her out for her ignorance and disrespect. Some people even made videos explaining why they think she's missing the point of the original story and why they're not looking forward to the new remake. For example, take a look at this video by a user who says criticizing Disney princesses is not feminist.
Criticizing Disney princesses is not feminist. Not every woman is a leader. Not every woman wants to be a leader. Not every woman wants or craves power, and that's okay.
And she has a good point in my opinion. Not every woman wants to be a leader or fighter. Some women want to fall in love, get married, stay at home, or be soft, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make them less feminist or less worthy. Another video that got a lot of attention was this one by a user who goes by the handle @Shikalord.
The whole thing with art and artistic expression is that there should be diverse characters. And when every female character has a feminist icon stamp on her, the whole movie industry becomes boring.
She argues that Disney princesses don't have to be turned into girl bosses and that their original stories didn't intend them to be. She says that art and artistic expression should have diverse characters and that when every female character has a feminist icon stamp on her, the whole movie industry becomes boring. And I agree with her. I think diversity is important. I've talked about this on my other videos before, but it just has to be done correctly. There should be different types of female characters in movies, but not every single female character has to be strong, independent, and a badass. Some can be gentle, kind, and sweet. Some can be both. Some can be neither. And my point is that there should be variety and nuance, not gender favoritism, stereotypes, and cliches. And I think that that's what Zegler fails to understand. She thinks that by making Snow White more feminist, she's making her more modern and relevant. But they're actually making her less interesting and less relatable. She's ignoring the fact that Snow White's strength and power came from her bravery and her kindness, not from her fighting skills or her leadership skills. She's also ignoring the fact that the most powerful character in the original story was not a man, but a woman. The evil queen was Snow White's stepmother, a woman who ruled the whole kingdom without a husband or king. She was a woman in power, but she was also an evil woman. She was jealous, vain, and cruel. She wanted to kill Snow White because she was more beautiful than her. If Zegler really wanted to make a feminist statement with this movie, she should have focused on the relationship between Snow White and the evil queen, not on Snow White and the prince. She should have explored the themes of jealousy, vanity, and cruelty among women, not among men. She should have shown how Snow White overcame the evil queen's attempts to destroy her, not how she became a leader of some rebellion. But instead, she decided to bash the original story and make fun of the prince. She said that he was a stalker who tried to kiss Snow White without consent. She even said that he could be cut from the movie entirely. And honestly, I think that that's disrespectful. I say that it's insulting to the fans who love the original story and the character of Snow White. I say that it's a bad move for Disney, who are risking millions of dollars by making this movie. This movement has saddened the ardent lovers of the original Snow White story even more. A lady on Twitter said, Rachel Zegler admitting she didn't like Snow White growing up, saying she had only watched it once before getting the role is so sad to me. Out of millions of women who loved the character, cared about the story, and yet this is who we get. And it seems like Disney agrees. They've decided that they're gonna delay the movie until 2025. They say it's because of the union strikes, but we all know it's because they're afraid that it's going to be a massive box office flop and cripple their chances of making any future remakes or spin-offs. They're also said to be trying to learn from the mistakes they made by other movies that failed miserably, such as the new Buzz Lightyear movie and Cats. They're trying to figure out what to do with this $330 million movie that they made. Disney's also still dealing with the strikes, which have affected many aspects of the movie industry. So they need some time to figure it out and deliver a great film that pleases the fans and critics alike. Maybe they should scrap it all together and start over with a new cast and a new director and respect the legacy of Snow White. Or they should just leave Snow White alone and let the story rest in peace. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.